It's beer o'clock on Reload Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Top Out Brewery and it's a bottle of their smoked porter. It's been brewed with chilies and oak and it comes in at 5.6% ABV. There's a look at the labels. All of their labels top out on the top of a mountain. So you can see, I'm not sure which mountain. It probably says on the back here of the bottle. We'll get to that later on. But we actually brewed a couple of years ago now. I can't believe it. A couple of years ago, wow. We brewed the fantastic Simon Says On, the Berry Says On. And what they did, instead of using Scottish mountains, they used good old Mount Snowdon in Wales as the profile for the mountain. Yeah, black bottle cap. Let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Woohoo! Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Beer in the glass then. Oh, you can hear. Can you hear that? It's actually climbing the bottleneck slowly and you can hear the crackle of carbonation. Look at that. Let's pour it slowly then. Could you hear that? You can actually smell the chili. Good levels of carbonation. Jet black beer in the glass. It looks quite thin, but then again, when you add wood chip, when you oak a beer, when you add chili, you will lose that element of the head disappearing. It comes part and parcel with the beer. The most important thing is what does the beer taste like and smell like? It's very smoky, it's very oaky, and it's full of chili. Like pipe tobacco smoke. It's almost as if you're eating a chili con carne, pumped up to the bells with chili, and smoking a pipe at the same time. With a little bit of chocolate thrown into your chili for good measure. Let's dive in. It's not a meal. Cheers. It's peaty, it's smoky. I'm just waiting for that chili burn. You get the element of the oak in there. This chili flavour. Now here it comes. It's almost like a sweet chili. A flavoursome sweet chili with just a touch of a burn on the back of the palate. Let's move on to the drinkability. It's a very drinkable beer. It's a very thin porter. I'm just wondering if it would benefit from maybe some lactose in there just to beef it up a little bit. I don't know at this stage because I'm actually enjoying the drinkability. I'm enjoying it. It's drinking like, in terms of mouthfeel, it's drinking like a light pale ale or a golden ale. There's no real kind of denseness coming from that roasted malt that they've added to the beer. But that's okay. It's fine. As long as you like your porters like that. But this is no ordinary porter, see. This is something a little bit different. It's smoked. There's oak. There's chili. it's not a standard porter. So what I'm trying to do in my mind is think what a standard porter would be, which would be a denser mouthfeel, a little bit richer, a little bit creamier, and think to myself, the brewer has obviously produced this beer in his mind, thinking that if it was big and fat and dense and chewy, it may not work with the oak, it may not work with the chili. I think he's brought out this beer to, yes, there's a burn. You can feel the burn from the chili going down now. It took a few mouthfeels to really get going with the beer. But at the same time, I think he may have wanted to pair that chili and the flavour and a little bit of the chili burn with some drinkability, just to refresh yourself a little bit. Nicely carbonated. If you rock the beer back and forth, you do get some carbonation chasing the head of the glass, and it is a little bit of lace in there. It's quite surprising, actually. The more I'm drinking the beer, the more the beer seems to be coming alive. Actually, look at this. This is a beer that, with contact with the outside world, with the air, it seems to be creating a head. That's very, very unusual for a beer. Poured it out, no head at all. Drinking the beer, it started to come alive. It's very nice. It's a very nice beer. And again, it's not because I've been up to Edinburgh and I've brewed with these guys and I've drunk their beer and met them in company. It's because I genuinely think it's a decent beer. But, I will say but, if you're new to beer, if you have a genuine interest in beer and you're very new to it, you've kind of made your way into the supermarket aisle and you started to dabble, I think this is a beer that you probably need to leave alone for a little while. This beer, there's lots of flavour, lots of things going on. The oakiness, the smokiness, the chocolate, coffee and the caramel, mixed with the spice, with the chili, mixed with the smoke, the tobacco smoke from the peated smoked porter. There's a lot going on. So I'm loving the beer because I've drunk thousands and thousands of beers, and I've learned to appreciate beers like this. If you've wandered down the supermarket aisle maybe 2 weeks ago and you've been drinking beer for the last 2 weeks, maybe your Morrison's IPA or your Asda IPAs, or in America your Walmart kind of IPAs, this might be something which might be a little bit of a step up for you. So just be careful, just be mindful that there's big jumps in beer. Let me make a little bit of a different example for you. I call this, another beer from Top Out Brewery, the Cone. It's 6.8% ABV. I have called this Scotland's best IPA, and I stand to that even to this day. There's an incredible jump, and it's a bit of a shame because Punk IPA, Brewdog's Punk IPA used to be a wonderful, wonderful beer. But there's a jump now from the supermarket Punk IPA to the Cone IPA. So if you've been drinking Punk IPA, it's got an element of hoppiness to it. It's got an element of tropical kind of fruits to it. But it's tamed to what it used to be. This top out the Cone IPA would be a jump, another level jump up from drinking a Punk IPA to the Top Out's Cone IPA, because it's full on. It's absolutely to the brim, full on with super hop flavour. It's not a dig at Brewdog. I'm not digging at Brewdog. I'm just making an example from supermarket based beers to smoked porters with oak and chili in. That's really what I'm trying to kind of get at here. Fantastic beer. Let's rate it. It's a bit of an odd one, to be honest. I'm going to be perfectly honest, because I started talking at the start of the review saying how thin and drinkable the beer was. Then halfway through, something which has never happened to me before happened. The beer started to create a head, and it started to create mouthfeel. I don't know whether that was the Chillies reacting with the air or the pardon me, the peated malt, the smokiness, or just the beer itself reacting with the environment around it and actually putting on a bit of beef, putting on a bit of weight, putting on a bit of mouthfeel and head and carbonation. I've never seen this happen before. But the beer's wonderful. It's a fantastic tasting beer. Let's rate it. Chocolate, coffee, caramel, roasted malt, mixed with peat, mixed with oak, mixed with chili. It's a brainstormer. It's like playing Trivia Pursuit whilst drinking a beer in your mind. There's lots going on. You really need to be able to, because even now I'm picking up vanilla, touch of licorice. There's a vinous quality coming through, and that's just now. There's so many different flavours that you could pick from this beer. It's a beer that really you need to sit down, probably to yourself. You know, there's no, let's be honest, there's no point sitting with this beer and the telly's on and there's loads going on and you've got your missus in your ear over there. She's going bah, 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 and you're trying to kind of appreciate all of the different flavours in the beer. This is a beer that really needs to be, when you've got yourself 20 minutes, sit down to yourself and just appreciate the amount of flavour, the variety of flavours in this beer. I like that enough to give it a stonking 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 from Reload Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! And cheers.